show you how to.
Oh yeah. Well, the whole time, whenever we did any kind of work, my dad always had the tractor. I mean, that was a status symbol, being on that tractor. So I mean, and I was at 14 years old. I was hired out, and I ran tractors for the places. And when I come home, he always had the tractor. And whenever we're burning brush behind the horse, we have the old brush burner, and the horse would carry the brush burner through the vineyard. And I always got the smoky side for somehow. He was always on the side where the wind was coming from. He was on the west side, and I was on the east side. He always had a plan. So anyway, he's going to show me what to do on that hill. And and I'd been farming Jackass Vineyard since *68, and so here we go into '93. So he showed me how that's okay. We get up there, and in a way he was trying to make it safe for me because it's tricky, that hill. And there are certain spots that you go out and you can't see this rock. There's one row only. You can't see the rock, but when you get on it, the tractor slides down about 6 inches, and it feels like a mile because you're already on a 60% slope. And you get over there and it just starts going down, and there's nothing you can do. You can't. If you stop, it's even worse because it'll go down more. And anytime you stop, even when you're not on the rock on that hill, you're going across, it automatically slides down. So you don't want to stop. You want to always keep going. Tractor's always faced uphill as you're going across the side of it. So anyway, he gets up there and he was telling me which one to go across, because there is one that you don't want to get in the wrong row, because trying to go a different direction, you are getting into trouble. So he gets up there and he says, go down this road, and you come down, and then you come up this way. And when you come up, you just spin it, and it's hard for the tractor to go. You go back in, and you spin again, and so I says, okay, so I go down one row, I found out a road, come back, I came down that row, and I went right down. Instead of going up, I went down the next row, and when first row I could find in, because when you're on the east side, you can't pick the row you're coming in. It's just wherever your tractor slides to, and you line up. Because if you slide down the hill as you're going, and I mean, my clutch is in, and I've got my brake on, and I'm just letting off the brake, and it'll slide, and you got this row you want to go into, and you're coming down, I said, okay, I think I can do it here. Put the tractor in set, and go through it. Sometimes you'll come down and go for that row, and you'll come in, and your tractor will be right here, and you can't do it. You can't get lined up, so then you got to go down to the next row. So you just got to pick the row that you can go into, and that's the tricky side of that hill. And so, so I just decided it's easier on the tractor instead of having to fight it, going up the hill, having it spinning, and then when you come around that turn going uphill, your disc lags behind. It's kind of like it's pulling a rope. It's going to drag and try to hit that vine. So when you're coming down, it's always up. It's always coming into the row, and coming over here comes into the row. So it'll come this way. When you go up, the disc is kind of like wanting to come in and hit that. So I went all the way down there. He didn't like that too well. But after I did, then I went back up and did that. The next time I went the same way, and then 3 times it was done. And it was easy for me to do that, and it was easy on the tractor, and I still do it that same to this day. I got to the bottom, and because you're on the hill, and the light seal and the axle started leaking, and so the oil went from the inside of the rear end into the steering clutches. So now when I pull the right friction, it wouldn't turn right. It just keep going straight. So I got to the end of the road. And the only way I could turn around is I would take the left friction, and you pull it, and then you could back this way. And then you would go just forward a little bit, and then you pull the left friction back and back up again. So you steered everything with the left friction only. The right one wasn't working. So when I got to the bottom of that hill, and I finished it, and I only worked it one way, I said, well, this is going to the shop. I said, I'm not going to do any more work with this because you can't steer it. And especially when you're going downhill, you steer opposite. When you're on the level or you're going uphill, you want to turn to the right, you turn to the right. You pull the right friction. These are the 2 little things that are sticking up. Or you want to go left, you pull the left friction. Well, when you're going downhill, you pull that right friction, it releases your brake. And so now there's no power on that side, so it wants to turn left. And so to make it work right, you got to pull it back real hard. So now you're pulling it, you go through neutral, and you're back on the brake, and it takes a whole lot longer to turn right. So instead you just opposite steer. So if I want to turn right, I just take my left friction and I just tap it and it goes to the left. I want to turn left, I just take my right friction and I just move it a little bit and it turns left. And it's easier on the tractor because I'm not forcing anything, and down the hill you go. So I couldn't go down there with this right friction not working. So went to the shop. By the time we got it back, everything was overgrown. It was too long. And so I didn't cross-disc it. Oh, my dad was really upset about that, because not cross-discing it means that you're not holding the moisture in the ground, and it's not staying there, and they're not going to produce as much fruit and all of that. And so, but anyway, that's what. So the first year wasn't too happy for me. He was kind of upset with me. But we got it done.
That's great. Makes sense. Maybe talk about this barrel.